Hi YouTube, it's Chris and Ty.
You too. We're here again.
We are back with another video. And today we want to thank everybody for all of your comments, questions, topics on the Q&A video that we posted earlier this week.
So today we're going to answer and give our viewpoint on the most popular question or topic that was brought up for that video. Interracial relationships.
Yes.
People want to know what's going on. People want to know how we felt about it, any struggles that we've had, the whole nines. Be sure to stay tuned for future videos. We're going to field as many questions that you guys ask as possible.
Yes.
So stay tuned for those. But today's going to be about interracial relationships.
Okay, so many people want to know, what are our nationalities? What race are we?
That's right.
All right, so I am black.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
All right, mystery solved there. So I am biracial.
Yes.
All right. So this may be a shocker. Okay, maybe a shocker. But there's been some comments like he doesn't look white or he is white. People don't know. But my mom is Swedish, and my dad is African American or black. So what happens is when you do that and you mix it up and you mix it, this is what you get. All right, that's what happens. All right, so let's jump right in. Let's start with how important was race? How important was race to you?
To me?
Yeah.
Race was never important to me. Yeah, if I thought somebody was attractive, it didn't matter what color they were. In his case, he happens to be hot. So it worked out. But no, I've never really cared about what race, somebody was.
And I think we share that viewpoint. Yeah. I mean, it really at this point it really doesn't matter. Like, you got to see people for who they are. You also got to be who you are, but you got to see people for who they are. Race never really played an important factor for me either. I don't think that your race defines who you are. I think that people identify with a race, absolutely. But I don't think it defines who you are. I think there are a lot of other qualities much more important than race that define who you are. So people also want to know, what kind of issues have we dealt with since we've been married?
And since we've been together. I would say, we really haven't had too many issues. In the beginning, again, we were very young, fresh out of high school. We got a lot of stares in the beginning. All
right, so from our experiences, we know and understand everybody's a little bit different. We're very confident in our relationship. We haven't had any issues specifically to our face with people hating. But look, there's no such thing as a happy hater. Let me let you know. It doesn't exist.
No.
All right, if people are hating on you, it's because they're not happy. So that's the situation. Now, there have been issues that have come up. Obviously, if we start our YouTube channel, people hate. People got something to say. Everybody's got an opinion. So there's just been a few bumps in the road. Sure, people have hated a little bit. But at the end of the day, look, if it's your problem, doesn't sound like my problem. All right? That's the way I feel like. So we also have some questions around, how did your family react? What'd your friends say? Stuff like that. So you can go first on that.
All right. So again, although this was my first interracial relationship, I never really cared about race. So my family actually was fine with it. For the most part, like, nobody really said anything negative. We got a couple comments.
So what would happen is, like, sometimes people would they would say subtly that we know, like, they would identify that it's an interracial relationship. Yeah. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. People are going to say it's different. Sure, it's different. Yeah. It's going to be things that people aren't used to. Yeah. My family, me being biracial, if there was any issues, it happened long before me. All right. So with me being biracial, they had too much of a choice. They were already used to it, already warmed up to the idea. And they love her. I mean, she has a great personality.
He has a great family. So
yeah, they really.
I've never felt uncomfortable or anything being around his family. Now, we know that in our case we didn't have too much negativity.
Not a lot of opposition in our case. Yeah.
But we know that there are some cases where families just do not like the idea of dating outside of your race.
How we feel about it is that your family can't be happy for you. Yeah. Your mom or your dad or your brother, your sister, they may have an issue with you dating outside your race, but they can't be happy for you. Yeah, so you have to do what makes you happy.
Try to focus on how the person that you love is treating you, how they make you feel, and just try to brush everything else off, because hate will come. You will have some people who do not like the person that you're with, and that's on them. Doesn't matter. All right. Okay, so the next question we got was, have we explained it to our children? And what are we doing about explaining it to our kids? So I don't really think our boys really care too much about our color differences. Our eldest son has said, "Mommy, you're brown skin," and he just compares his skin color and says he's caramel or something like that. But he's never said like, why is Daddy lighter or anything like that. So we haven't run into any issues explaining, the color of our skin.
And we don't want to.
Yeah.
We don't want to have to, and we're going to try to avoid it, to be honest with you. Like, I think it would be best if they didn't know. Yeah. Like, if to them it just didn't matter. I don't care for them to know that there's a difference in races. Like, I don't. Because I want them to be able to see the quality of the person and not the color of their skin, point blank and period.
Yeah.
I think that at this point, it really doesn't matter. For them to think that it does would only be misleading them and lead them down a bad path.
Yeah.
I don't see any value in it. So it's not something that I want to expose them to or teach them, but I just want them to see love for what it is and be open to it, regardless of who it's with and what race they are.
So what has our biggest challenge been being in an interracial relationship or marriage? Honestly, we really have not let anybody get to us. We really haven't focused on anything or any negativity that someone may have against us bother us. So, we just pretty much just try to just focus on each other and not worry about what anybody else has to say or what anybody else thinks.
No, I mean, I agree completely. I think that it's stupid to let somebody else's feelings about your marriage or your relationship impact how you feel about your marriage or your relationship. Yeah. Like, why would I let you impede on my happiness because you ain't happy with something? That's just silly.
Yeah.
So we do a great job of supporting each other and not letting the negativity in. For 1 second. We conquer it. It's not an issue that we even spend time dwelling on because it's simply not worth time spent.
Right.
All right, so people want to know, how do we overcome our cultural differences?
Okay. So we are definitely not culturally different. We have the same beliefs. We like a lot of the same things. We like to do the same things.
Both from the same area.
Yeah.
We're both American.
Yeah. I mean, not that different.
There's not a lot of differences.
No. So that doesn't affect, that hasn't affected us relationship-wise.
Not at all. Not at all.
Okay, so that wraps up all the questions. I would say that, if you're in an interracial relationship and you may be having some trouble, try not to let what people say about you and your significant other matter. Just try to focus on each other and focus on your happiness and what makes you happy. If you're in love, you're in love. It doesn't matter what anybody else says, thinks, feels, or does. So, just try to focus on each other.
Another thing that we think is important is that we reference one of our beliefs in this situation, and it really helps us get through, is that, God is love. And in the Bible, there's nothing about any race in the Bible. It doesn't say you have to be a certain race to love each other or that only certain races can date or be with other races.
Right.
So it's completely irrelevant. It's really just focusing on the love that you have for each other. As she said, the qualities of the person, how you make each other feel. And honestly, that's what it boils down to. It's just the relationship, the love, the commitment, and most importantly, happiness. You're responsible for your own happiness. So don't let anybody hold you back. All right, so that's our take on interracial relationships, and we tried our best to answer all your questions. If you have more questions, feel free to let us know. We don't have any problem talking about this. It's definitely a good topic. So we're willing to help out in any way that we can. If you're struggling with your situation, if your situation is a little bit different than ours, and you want our take on it, feel free to ask us. You can inbox us, or you can leave a comment, depending on how you want to do it. But at the end of the day, we're here to help.
All right, so we'll see you all very soon in another video. Take care.